Hi everybody, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to a new weekly series that I am going to be offering here on my YouTube channel. In addition to my general monthly tarot forecast, I am now offering a general weekly tarot forecast. And the way I will be doing this is I will be uploading 4 videos each week by element, so fire, water, earth, and air, and then within those videos I will break it down by each individual zodiac sign just to give you guys the most accurate forecast possible. So just continue watching till you get to either your sun, moon, or rising sign, and I really hope you enjoy this new weekly series. Hi Aquarius, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week starting November 16th through the 22nd, and this is for Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, and Aquarius Rising signs. So Aquarius, let's get started. Alright, some major arcana cards here, Aquarius. Definitely a significant week. Alright. So what I have at the bottom of the deck, Aquarius, is the Seven of Swords. This card can represent many different energies. There can be an energy that's more negative, that's talking about, you know, someone around you maybe trying to steal something, maybe steal your ideas, or, you know, just maybe steal something from you or get away with something. If that's the case, you know, you will definitely find out about it. But on a more positive note, this card will represent, you know, receiving clarity about a situation like that, or receiving clarity about any sort of, you know, ongoing situation within your life. This card also represents going for something, kind of going for something, setting out on your own, and really kind of just doing things on your own, you know, and that's not always a bad thing. All right, so let's look at the rest of the cards. You have 3, 4, 5 major arcana cards here, Aquarius. So definitely a very significant week for you ahead. We're starting out with the Judgment card, which the Judgment card can be talking about some sort of decision or judgment call that's either being made for you or, Aquarius, that you're making. It also can represent a rebirth, some sort of opportunity that's being given to you. This would be, you know, from the angels. This is really an opportunity after, you know, you've gone through maybe a difficult period. If you've gone through some sort of difficult time in your life, this is really being given the opportunity to be reborn in a sense. These people are rising up out of the ashes, and they're being given some sort of chance or opportunity to start over. So definitely with the Judgment card here, Aquarius, with the Justice card directly below it, this can be talking about a decision that's being made for some Aquariuses. This can be something within the legal system. This can be like, you know, a decision that's being made within the court system. The way this is reading to me is like this is definitely going to be a yes for you, Aquarius. If you do have some sort of legal case that's going on right now, maybe a lawsuit or just some sort of decision that you need to make or someone else needs to make in regards to a contract or, you know, some sort of legal situation, it does look like, you know, things are going to be ruled in your favor. There's a fairness and energy with the Justice card that, you know, some sort of fairness or equality is going to come in and kind of balance things out. If you thought things were, you know, done previously maybe unfair in the past, Yeah, for some of you, this is going to be in regards to maybe some sort of money situation. Some of you, it can be talking about a relationship. I feel like, you know, because this is a general reading, this is going to be, you know, some sort of money situation for a lot of Aquariuses. But then others, this is talking about something in regards to a relationship, and whether that be romantic or a relationship with just another person, a friend or family members. There's a sense of, you know, feeling like left out in the cold with some sort of situation in your life, and there's like definitely some sort of emotional sadness or something that you might have felt in the past, Aquarius. But again, with the Justice card here, you know, if you're looking for an answer, this is definitely a yes. And then also, you know, if there was some sort of like unjust or some sort of like unfairness that was done to you, this is definitely, you know, justice coming in, and there's going to be like an equality or a fairness that's going to take place. Definitely a decision that's being made for many Aquariuses, and this is right in the beginning of the week, but you're coming in quite strong. You have the Magician right here next to the Judgment card. This is you, Aquarius, you know, being able to, you know, deal with this. You know, whatever this is, you're coping with it quite well, I feel. I really feel that strongly. You know, this card will typically represent, you know, having all of the tools at hand, all of the skills and the tools and everything, you know, you need, all of the knowledge and everything that you need on your path to really make things manifest. You know, being able to maybe manipulate situations in a positive way to really make things turn out in your favor. You hold this energy, Aquarius, this week. That's for sure. And, you know, the overall energy is another major arcana card. Very powerful week for you guys, for sure. And this is the Star, and this is a lovely card. And this is letting me know that whatever this situation is, Aquarius, you're being divinely guided. This is angels and spirit guides around you, protecting you, assisting you, guiding you. And this card, you know, brings reassurance, letting you know, that things are going to turn out well. You know, better days are ahead. Never lose hope. Never lose your faith. This is definitely reassurance coming in strong. And this is the energy for the entire week, you know. And this card sometimes can represent a wish. This can be also known as a wish card. So there can be like some wishes coming true. For some of you guys, you know, this is going to have something to do with this judgment or decision or contract, you know, whatever this is like a decision or whatever this is, you know, this is something that you might have wished to receive a decision or news, or some sort of decision to be made, and it's finally coming in. This can be something that you were waiting for, because, you know, right next to the Star, I do have the Hanged Man. So this, you know, can be something that you were waiting for. The Hanged Man can talk about, you know, feeling stuck or blocked, or like maybe things are being put on hold and not really necessarily moving forward. So, you know, with the energy of the Hanged Man here, this could have been something that you felt blocked with, or you weren't really maybe hearing too much news with this situation, or you weren't really getting anywhere. But with the Knight of Pentacles here, this is showing me and telling me that, you know, you were getting somewhere. You might have thought that you weren't getting anywhere, but this Knight actually, you know, this is forward movement. This is positive progression forward, but it's at, you know, it's at a very slow pace. So, you know, you might have felt like that. But I feel like for a lot of you, this energy is passing now, especially, you know, with Judgment coming in. Now, right next to the Hanged Man, I have the Five of Cups. So with the Hanged Man, it talks about, you know, taking a period of suspense, you know, like a timeout, taking some time to yourself, to gain a fresh perspective on some things. This card also represents a sacrifice. You might have to sacrifice something, Aquarius, in order to maybe come out on top and to get this win for some Aquariuses. And you know, that might make you, you know, feel like maybe you're suffering from some sort of emotional loss or something. But even if this is the case, Aquarius, you know, you're still coming out the winner. This is very temporary, I feel like. You know, this Five of Cups can just be representing, you know, regret, sadness, you know, just not being in the best place emotionally. But I feel like, you know, either way, this isn't a huge significant energy, and you will, you know, move past this. You're still going to come out on top no matter what. I feel like, you know, maybe you were hanging on, for some Aquariuses, I feel like you might have been hanging on to maybe a certain viewpoint or an idea or something like that. You might have been hanging on to some sort of particular viewpoint or perception that you had about things. But this is, you know, this is the time where, you know, I feel like that's going to change. Because you will receive, like, you will get, you know, gain wisdom and actually receive clarity and a fresh perspective. You know, you might have even felt left out in the cold with this situation. You'll definitely have to comment, Aquarius, and let me know what this is about. But either way, you know, if you were hanging on to maybe some old beliefs or some sort of something, perspective in your life or something like that, a viewpoint that you might have had, you know, this is it. This is you, you know, gaining a fresh perspective, seeing things clearly. You know, your intuition is growing stronger. You're gaining wisdom. You're coming out on top no matter what. You receive clarity this week, and you might have to do things on your own. And I believe that that's why the Seven of Swords is here. But I am going to draw you an additional card, Aquarius, for additional guidance on this situation. Now, this is a general reading, so if this doesn't resonate with you, please don't dislike the video or make nasty comments, because I will just delete them. This card did pop out, but I am going to pull you another card from another deck that I have. Yes, this message is going to come out. This is the strongest message that Spirit has to offer for Aquariuses this week, and this is going to be for the Aquariuses that really need to hear this message. So, you know, if some of it resonates with you, then that's wonderful. But, you know, if the whole message doesn't, then that's fine. This will resonate with the people that it's meant to resonate with. You know, you can always, I always do suggest watching your moon and your rising sign video. And I actually, in the past couple of weekly readings, I have linked below a website where you can actually do your birth chart. You just put in your information, when you were born, where you were born, and the exact time that you were born at, and it will actually give you, you know, your sun sign information, but also your ascendant and your moon sign information, and it will break everything down for you. It's a very nice, free birth chart calculator site that I did find. But please give me an additional message for Aquarius. What else do they need to know? Please give me an additional message for Aquarius. What else does Aquarius need to know? Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. Okay, so these cards both popped out, Aquarius, so I will take both of these cards. All right. So the first card that I have here is Suffering in Silence. All right. The number 9 denotes completion. You are finally ready to let go of those limiting negative beliefs, or you are allowing the issues in your life to become bigger than they really are. Your mind has been doing quite a job on you lately, and even your dreams may be trying to get your attention. When you learn to let go of worry, despair, and a sense of hopelessness, a positive new way or path will be shown to you. This card follows Trapped in Fear, the number 8 mental card. When your fears aren't confronted, your mental anguish will continue. This is a reminder to take action and trust that your soul and the power of spirit will grasp you firmly by the hand and guide you. But you must take the first step toward healing and let go of mental distress. Don't suffer in silence. Reach out for the help that's available. Okay. Now the second card that I have is Kuan Yin, Compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. This is a lovely card. Gentleness is a strength behind true power, and it comes from feeding yourself with nourishing words, thoughts, deeds, intentions, and all forms of food. Shield yourself from harshness by placing an intention to attract only kind and gentle life lessons and relationships. Transform harshness into gentleness by refusing to see anything but the shining light that's within each person and situation. This intention begins with your relationship with yourself. Be very gentle with yourself in all ways. Be happy, be kind, be sweet, but most of all, be true to yourself. Very nice, Aquarius. That's a lovely card. And you know, I was talking about, you know, releasing some sort of viewpoint that you had. You know, this card touched on that perfectly, talking about negative viewpoints about yourself. Release any sort of negativity within your life, Aquarius, and also any sort of negativity that you hold within for yourself. Definitely show compassion to yourself, and not only yourself but others around you, but yourself first and foremost, Aquarius. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you've gotten all of the messages that you were meant to receive here today, Aquarius, and I wish you a great week. Take care. Hi Gemini, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week starting November 16th through the 22nd, and this is for Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, and Gemini Rising signs. So Gemini, let's get started. So when I was shuffling Gemini, the Eight of Swords kept popping out, but I stuck it back in because it's not the best card, but it does just simply represent fears and anxieties holding you back. Definitely, you know, you don't want fears and anxieties hindering you at all, holding you back in any which way. You want to kind of try to remain positive. I feel that strongly this week. You know, don't let negative thoughts enter your mental space. Try to stay positive. Oh wow. And we do, at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Star, which is a beautiful card. It's one of my favorite cards. When this card does show up in a reading, I do know that you are being divinely guided. You do have angels and spirit guides around you, Gemini. So, you know, and this is a card that offers reassurance, and it talks about never, you know, losing hope, never losing your faith. Remain hopeful that better days and times are ahead. Good things are coming in. And it's also, it's a card that represents positivity, which is the same thing I was just talking about. Remaining positive, remaining hopeful, not letting any fears or anxieties overpower, you know, your thoughts in any which way or anything in your life. All right, let's see what we have here. Very interesting. We're starting out with the Nine of Swords, which is a step up from the Eight of Swords that was poking its head out, Gemini. So the Nine of Swords is talking about, you know, insomnia, not being able to sleep at night. You know, those fears and anxieties taking over, you know, and really kind of preventing you from getting a good night's sleep. You know, if this is something that's going on, Gemini, you definitely, you know, there are techniques that can help you use, you know, meditating, yoga, exercise, and things like that can help release some of that stress. But this card will show up in readings for, you know, something as little as maybe someone receiving one sleepless night, maybe a week or a month. And then, you know, this card will also pop out for me personally for, you know, more intense situations where you're really not getting much sleep at all. So depending on which Gemini for you, this isn't going to be a very significant energy for all Geminis. You know, this is only a weekly reading, a weekly spread here. So there could be some Geminis that might lose maybe one night of sleep in the beginning of the week or something like that. Or maybe you've been losing sleep worrying about maybe some news or some sort of new beginning, and this can be in regards to maybe, you know, work. Just because I have the Nine of Swords here with the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is talking about, you know, putting a lot of effort in, you know, working perhaps with groups. So you might be maybe worried about working within a group within the workplace. This card also can represent, you know, being watched, but in a positive way, being watched maybe at your place of business, you know, like maybe bosses or managers or higher ups watching you, noticing, you know, what a good job that you're doing, taking notice. And especially with the wheel directly under the Three of Pentacles, it's almost like the wheel is turning. If you were up for maybe some sort of promotion or you felt like, you know, you weren't being recognized within the workplace, you know, you do have the Wheel of Fortune here. And with when the wheel comes up, it's letting us know that the wheel's turning. So if you felt like you weren't receiving maybe recognition within the workplace, you know, you're putting a lot of effort in, a lot of time, but you're not really being noticed. This is, and maybe that's why you have the Nine of Swords here. Maybe this is something you've really wanted. You've been working very hard and you just felt like you weren't being appreciated in some sense, Gemini. But the wheel is turning. We have a very fortunate time coming up for you. This is a very fortunate energy, very blessed energy. And so with the wheel turning, I definitely see news in regards to this. You know, you have the Page of Cups here, which is definitely talking about news or communication, or even new beginnings. Something that would, you know, make you, you know, emotionally content and actually quite happy, quite fulfilled. So, you know, if you felt unrecognized or unappreciated at work, this is definitely the wheel turning in this sense, in this regard, because the overall energy that I have for the entire week is actually the Six of Rods, which is victory. This is victory, this is success, triumph, but this is also even public recognition, receiving some sort of public acknowledgement or reward. So definitely I feel like for a lot of Geminis, this is going to be a significant week within the workplace. I feel like that big time. And if this isn't within the workplace, this is some sort of acknowledgement, I feel, for a lot of Geminis. And this could just be some sort of public acknowledgement, maybe some sort of project that you've been working on. It stressing on as well, but finally it's like paying off. You don't have to stress anymore. The wheel's turning. Good news is coming in with this page, that's for sure. Something's going to make you very happy. You know, victory and success are the overall energy. And also, you know, if you're looking for some sort of yes answer, like a yes or no answer, we have the Justice card here, which is, this is definitely a yes coming through. This is also a contract. So, you know, maybe with this, you know, with the wheel turning and with this, maybe receiving some sort of acknowledgement, you can even be receiving some sort of promotion. Some Geminis might actually be receiving some sort of promotion this week. Whatever this is, I feel like this is going to bring forward, you know, emotional fulfillment, but also financial abundance. We have the King of Pentacles here. We have the King of Pentacles next to the Justice card, and right beneath the Justice card, I do have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is definitely talking about, you know, some sort of financial opportunity. So you could be receiving a promotion at work, more money's coming in. Whatever this is, if you're signing a new contract, receiving a new job, or some sort of acknowledgement, this is definitely going to benefit your family. And this could be, you know, your whole family. This could be your children, your parents. This is definitely something that's very good for your family. I see you very happy with this. This is a card that just, you know, represents financial abundance, stability, success, prosperity. It's just a lovely card, and it's sitting right next to the Tower, and I'm not feeling the Tower to be a negative card here. I'm really not. This isn't like a disastrous, horrible circumstance that's coming up, Gemini, so please don't fear. What this is really showing me is that this is going to be some sort of opportunity that's going to affect your home. You know, I really see the Tower sometimes as it can represent a change, and it can be a massive life change. And no matter if that's positive, like some sort of destructive news coming in, yes, that can represent change. But also the Tower for me will come up when it's, you know, not that bad. It's actually more of a positive change. It's some sort of change that's changing your life overall, and it can represent sometimes a positive change, but also sometimes I see the Tower as a building, a structure. For me, what I'm feeling with this reading and this spread is this, whatever this acknowledgement is, or this promotion within the workplace, with this wheel turning here and this great news or great opportunity or new beginning that's coming in, this is not only going to affect your family, it's going to affect your home. I feel like the Tower here is saying, yes, things are going to change, but they're going to change for the positive. But also it's going to, I feel like it's also representing a structure here. This is talking about the home. This is talking about real estate. You know, your family could have something to do with, you know, a piece of property. I do have the Justice card here. So there even could be, you know, because of this acknowledgement or this success within your career, there could be some Geminis, they're buying a house this week. This could be the week where you're finalizing, maybe signing a contract. I feel like this is coming up as a structure, as a building, Gemini. You know, and with this King of Pentacles directly on top, this can be representing your energy, Gemini, saying that, you know, you're quite practical in regards to this situation. You're coming in very practical, very grounded, you know, very business minded. This king is very good with numbers. He's good with math. He's very good with his money. So, you know, this definitely could be your mindset, especially if you're buying a home or something like that. If not, you know, this could be maybe an earth sign around you. This could be, you know, your someone in your family, your husband, your wife. I don't attach gender to my cards, but this could be just someone who's very practical, very grounded, very good with numbers, very well-rounded. This could be a person, you know, around you in your life or within your family, or these could be characteristics that you're taking on, Gemini. Either way, you know, both of these cards for me represent, you know, financial abundance. You're doing quite well financially. I feel like for many of you, that's coming from, you know, this sort of public acknowledgement or, you know, acknowledgement within the workplace. Definitely, you know, remain hopeful because, you know, good things are coming in. Lovely, lovely reading, Gemini. So what I'm going to do now, Gemini, is just pull you an additional card just to see if there's anything else Spirit wants to add to this forecast. So please show me an additional message for Gemini. An additional message for Gemini for the week November 16th through the 22nd for Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising signs. Please show me an additional message for Gemini. Ooh, cards are coming out, but it's too many, so I'm going to put them back. Gemini, 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 Gemini. Please show me Gemini, 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 Gemini. Gemini, 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 Gemini. Okay. So you do have new beginnings. Wow. And this is equivalent to the Fool card in the tarot. This is actually a major arcana card in this deck, and this is the Psychic Tarot Oracle card deck by John Holland, one of my new favorite decks. So new beginnings, definitely coming in strong in this reading, Gemini. So they will give a different perspective, a different spin on the Fool in this deck. It says each and every journey begins with the all-important first step. When this card presents itself in your reading, it's confirming that it's time for you to take a brave leap of faith, but be prepared as you do so. This card represents that a great new adventure is awaiting you. It usually shows up when there's a significant inner change happening within you. By selecting this card, it's a sign that those important choices are needed and are about to be made and should be carefully pondered as you proceed with wisdom, thought, and care. Life is constantly trying to nudge you and move you forward. At times it can be daunting when you're faced with new adventures or directions. Therefore, it calls for an inner belief and courage as you take that leap of faith and step into the unknown. During this time, don't be alarmed if you feel lost or even confused. Most people are afraid of change and play it safe by staying where they are. Know that through inner guidance, wisdom, and belief in yourself, and by tapping into these tools, you'll be propelled forward on a positive, life-changing path. Don't conform to what society or other individuals expect of you at this time. It's your own adventure. During this time, be like an innocent child with fresh eyes and give yourself permission to live, play, love, and all of the above, laugh. In the traditional tarot, this is the Fool. So lovely, lovely reading. It's gonna be a great week for you. Very significant, very powerful. A lot of success. Definitely some acknowledgement coming to you, Gemini, for all of your hard work. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Gemini. Have a great week. Hi Libra, this is Tracy from Northeast Tarot, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for the week starting November 16th through November 22nd, and this is for Libra Sun, Libra Moon, and Libra Rising signs. So Libra, let's get started. All right, Libra, at the bottom of the deck, I do have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a lovely card. It's talking about financial abundance, material abundance, abundance within the home, within the family. This is a card that represents, you know, financial abundance through the many different generations within maybe your household or just within your family. This can represent money or material possessions being passed down through the generations. Talking about bonds, real estate, money, inheritance. So, you know, some Libras might be maybe receiving an inheritance or some sort of good news in regards to some money or some sort of material or physical abundance within your life somehow, some possessions or something like that. Just some sort of good news that you might be receiving this week. You could be receiving some good news about your family as well. If this isn't talking about, you know, good news within the workplace or within finances, this could just be talking about maybe some sort of good news, or you just feel quite content, you know, at home with your family. All right, I'm just taking a look at your cards here, Libra. Very interesting cards we have here. All right, we're starting out with the Nine of Rods, which the Nine of Rods is, you know, this is one of my warrior cards. This person can feel like, you know, you might feel like giving up, Libra, but the message with this card is, you know, you've come this far. Don't give up right before, you know, the miracle occurs. You know, this is a warrior who's still standing. He's been through all the battles. He's gone through everything, you know, in his past that, you know, has tried to maybe break him or, you know, defeat him. But this person is still standing after all of that. So, you know, for some Libras, this can be talking about a relationship. Maybe, you know, you just left some sort of relationship that wasn't the best for you. It could have been an unhealthy relationship. Maybe you survived, you know, going through some sort of difficult ordeal or difficult breakup, or even dealing with a difficult person for some Libras. Because I have the Nine of Rods sitting directly on top of the Devil card, which is Major Arcana. And this could be literally you feeling like giving up in regards to some sort of unhealthy relationship, or, you know, but you are the warrior. You are, you know, still standing. So, you know, don't give up. If you feel like there's some sort of maybe negative person around you or some sort of negative situation, you know, you might feel bound or trapped within this situation, just know that news is coming. Because with the nine of Rods here, with the Devil card, we also have the Page of Swords with the Page of Pentacles. So there's definitely news coming in. And that news for some Libras, because this is a general reading, the news might have been delayed in the past, but I feel like it's finally coming in now. Because with the Page of Swords, this can be talking about news, but this also can be talking about even delayed news or disappointing news. But I feel like more so this might have been news that was delayed in the past, but now it's coming in with the Page of Pentacles here. And this would be good news coming in. For some of you, this is going to be talking about in regards to your finances, or maybe like a new job offer or something, or some sort of new beginning. But for the majority, you know, who are watching this, I feel like this is going to be some sort of news that's coming in maybe after being delayed, and it's gonna maybe have something to do with this Devil card. For some, you know, for some Libras, this is talking about a situation that you felt maybe chained or bound to. But you know what? You've gone through the worst of it. You're still standing here. Don't give up now. The overall energy is actually the Two of Cups. So I feel like for many Libras, this is talking about a relationship. The Two of Cups is talking about a bond, a very deep bond, a spiritual connection you have with another person. But just because it's coming up as the overall energy, and then, you know, the other cards that I have here, I believe that, you know, what this is telling me is this has to do with a relationship situation. If you felt left out in the cold, Libra, because I have the Five of Pentacles here, and this is talking about, you know, a feeling of lack, a feeling of being left out in the cold. If you felt like a lack within your relationship, or if you felt left out within the, like left out in the cold in some respect, this is definitely going to be, you know, a turning around with that. There's definitely going to be some sort of turning point with that, because what I have next to the Five of Pentacles is the Six of Pentacles, which is a very generous card. It's an uplifting card that talks about balance, things balancing out, but also, you know, giving and receiving. So if you felt lack, I feel like there's going to be some sort of gift that's coming to you, or some sort of someone is going to be, either you're going to be giving something or you're going to be receiving something. There's going to be something that's coming to you, and it can have something to do with this Page of Pentacles as well. If you felt, you know, financially like you know, you didn't have enough, or you weren't doing well, this is definitely news in regards to finances, or maybe you even receiving some sort of gift from someone. But I feel like the majority of you, this isn't talking about some sort of financial situation. This is talking about a lack within the relationship. But there can be news coming in regards to that, and you can be receiving something. Because you also, on top of the Five of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is talking about, you know, that independent person who's doing quite well for themselves. They have that financial abundance. They have that material wealth around them. They can afford those little extras in life. They're doing quite well. You know, this also represents a nice home, very nice home environment in my eyes. You have the means to decorate it and, you know, have nice decor. And I feel like you're coming in quite powerful. In the beginning of the week, you know, this situation might have been wearing on you a little bit and getting you down. But you have to remember that you're a warrior. You've gone through so much. Don't quit right before miracles occur. You know, good news is coming in regards to the situation. You do have the Magician here, so I know that you're coming in quite powerful. You have that magic, you have those skills and those tools at hand to really make things manifest, to make your dreams and your true desires manifest, you know, and come about in your life. You have the power to be successful. You know, for some Libras out there, you know, you could be coming in quite powerful. You could be coming in as the Magician here, and maybe someone around you who has felt some sort of lack or maybe left out in the cold in some sense, you actually might be gifting someone something. You actually could be quite generous, Libra. You'll definitely have to comment. This could be, you know, picking up on a, you know, this could be two sets of Libras here that I'm picking up, or this could be, you know, just a message for you know, Libras in general, that, you know, the whole week in general. In the beginning of the week, you know, you felt maybe like giving up or bound or chained to a particular situation, a difficult situation or person. Maybe you felt a lack within a relationship or left out in the cold in some regards to a relationship. And but this is you really coming out quite powerful, quite strong. You hold the tools at hand to really change the situation. And I feel like for some Libras, you will. You're going to be giving something or receiving something. I feel like this news or this new beginning or this news of some sort of new beginning is going to be quite important. Now, I was just shuffling and 2 cards actually popped out as I was shuffling. So I'm going to take both of them. And this is from my Psychic Tarot Oracle card deck by John Holland. And the first card that came out is Financial and Material Changes. And the second card that came out is Third Eye Chakra. So Third Eye Chakra. This is the most often talked about of the chakras, and clairvoyance, inner seeing, intuition, and higher levels of consciousness are all associated with this energy center. Found between your eyebrows and just above the bridge of your nose, it works closely with the throat and crown chakras and will assist you with your psychic and intuitive inner guidance. To balance the third eye chakra, I recommend that you practice walking, meditations, breath work, yoga, tai chi, visualizations, and color therapy. Don't just focus on this one chakra as part of your development, as it's important to remember that they all should be in balance in order to work in unison and harmony. All right, financial and material changes. The number 5 physical card represents changes, challenges, and losses, usually related to material or financial concerns. You may be losing some of these things around you, but you must acknowledge and know that besides existing as a physical being, you're an incredible and resourceful spiritual entity. Use your powerful forces within you to help yourself through this difficult period. Everything changes for a reason, and this time isn't meant to be a punishment. Know that your current conditions will transform for a better. A positive question to ask yourself now is, what did I learn from this, and how can I avoid it in the future? Remember that there are lessons to be understood in everything. It's up to you and you alone to decide how long it will take for you to learn from them. So Libra, definitely, with that being said, saying some Libras, because this is a general reading, might be going through some sort of financial changes right now. And with that, you really have to learn lessons from the past, past mistakes that you've made, but also you have to go within. And trust your inner knowing and your intuition to really guide you into making, better decisions next time, or really just guide yourself to a much more positive place. Again, you are the Magician. You're coming up very strong in this reading. You do hold those tools at hand to really make things come about. You might have negative, I picked that up from the very start, negative forces or influences around you, Libra, that you might really have to somehow cut off, cut ties from. If you have negative influences, like negative people around you, definitely you have to kind of clear your energy and detach from those influences. If you feel like giving up, just know, you're a warrior. You're still standing after everything you've gone through. To just continue to be strong like you have been, and know, that better days are coming. I feel like you're going to receive some sort of news for many Libras, that this will be in regards to a relationship, and then for other Libras, this is going to be in regards to some sort of financial opportunity, or news about your job, or a new job. It has something to do with your finances and career. All right, Libra, so I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.